Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic will tell us in just a moment that our clearances nationally are just shy of 80%. Brisbane is the big improver and Sydney breaks yet another record. All the details with Kevin Brogan in just one moment.
In today's market, great ideas alone simply aren't enough, but innovative execution can hand you a real competitive advantage. Nightlight is a cutting-edge illuminated signboard by Printforce that offers round-the-clock visibility and features that maximise advertising space, improving your exposure. Buyers can now see the full picture, day or night, with Nightlight's edge-to-edge illuminated surface, which utilises environmentally friendly, scratch-resistant technology. Now available in 6x4 and 8x4. Nightlight is as versatile as you need to be in today's market. Let your clients know you're working day and night for them, and then prove it with Nightlight.
Welcome back to the show. Kevin Brogan joins me from CoreLogic. Kevin, a lot of great news this week. Sydney breaks another record, but have a look at, we'll bring up the prelims. Firstly, good morning, Kevin. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks, Kevin.
I'm so excited here with these results. Well, let's bring up those preliminary results. Have a look at Brisbane at 67.7%. Wow.
Yeah, look, I think it's good to lead with a story around Brisbane. I mean, obviously the market in Brisbane has been fairly resilient when other markets have softened significantly. And typically with auction results, as we've said before, they've really been sub 50% for quite some time now. So most improved, the award definitely goes to Brisbane this week.
Absolutely. And Melbourne grows again for the fifth week. And we broke another record in Sydney, another 2-year record as well, looking at the Sydney results at 84.7%.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Sydney result last week at 81.7, we reported as breaking a record since May 2017. This time we need to go back to February 2017 to see a result as high as this out of Sydney.
This time last year in Adelaide, 55%, but this year 72.4%, which is even up on this time last week as well, Kevin.
Yeah, look, it is. I mean, Adelaide hasn't had the same volatility in its results, but there have been some weeks where we've had some softer results. So this is a welcome return to form in a market that has been fairly resilient over the last couple of years.
Yep. So just to summarise, the weighted average of 79.6%. I noticed in your notes too, Kevin, that you're predicting that the final result at the end of this week is going to be even above last week's result or very close to it, which was 76.6%.
Look, I think that's right, Kevin. I mean, we've focused on the improvements in Sydney and Melbourne simply because those markets were impacted the most by the downturn over the last sort of 18 months or so. But these results are actually showing a greater breadth of market confidence across the smaller capital city markets. But also, I mean, we report on the regional markets, and those two, off low volumes, are actually showing increased buyer confidence.
Okay, well, we'll take you to the Sydney results now. Firstly, the Sydney sub-regions, and we'll tell you in just a moment too that our top sale nationally did come out of Sydney. It in fact came out of Sydney and Inner South, which has recorded a 90% success rate off 51 auctions. Another outstanding result there, Kevin.
Yes, look, it is, and there are several sub-regions with over 90% this week, North Sydney and Hornsby and the Northern Beaches, which regular viewers would be aware are often at the top of the list. And then the Inner West at 89.3% as well. I mean, there's quite a lot of strength across a range of sub-regions this week.
Well, you'd have to say, generally looking at all of those, with the exception of Southwest, they're great results right across 70s, 80s. Parramatta's down, of course, a little bit, but just a touch under 70%. But once you're getting up into the 80s and 90s, that's an exceptional result, I think.
Oh, look, it certainly is. I mean, the breadth of these results has improved. As I mentioned, it's not just the sub-regions in Sydney; it's actually some of the regional markets as well. So, that buyer confidence and buyer activity is now really quite broad.
I mentioned there that the top sale nationally came out of City in the south. Let's have a look at that. It actually didn't sell on the weekend. It sold during the week, 21st of August, as you'll see. A beautiful apartment in Pyrmont, $5,570,000. Air Real Estate selling this one, Craig and Adrian. What a spectacular property. You'd have to say this one looks down on a lot of very wealthy people as well, Kevin.
Oh, look, it does. I mean, the units on the top floor of this prestige development, built in 2002, has a living area of 185 square metres, but a very significant outdoor entertaining area as well. Looking down over Jones Bay Wharf, the sort of finger wharfs that have all been converted into high-level residential accommodation and maybe some smaller business uses. Clear views over the harbour to the bridge, and all within easy walking distance of the city centre through Darling Harbour to the city centre. So quite a spectacular property.
Is there much stock coming on down in that area, or is it fairly well established now, Kevin?
Well, look, I think it's interesting. I mean, this is clearly an exceptional unit. The median price around here is over $1 million and has actually held pretty well all through the market softening. Look, when you're looking at the properties that are coming to auction and being listed, at the top end properties like this clearly generated a significant interest and got snapped up fairly quickly. Look, I think we are still waiting for a springtime increase in listings, and that's sort of right across the board, but also here.
Okay, we'll move to Melbourne now, the sub-regions here, and Inner East, a good result at 82.8%, in fact giving us our top sale out of Melbourne, which we'll tell you about in just a moment, and that was in the region of $4.5 million. But firstly, let's have a look at these. Both Inner East and Inner are both at 82.8%, offer a good number of auctions as well, Kevin.
Yeah, look, I think, we have seen a bit of an increase across the Melbourne market, and some now of the regions, the Inner and Inner South, are actually showing more than 100 auctions per week. As you mentioned, we've got 5-6 of the sub-regions at 80% or more. And that is a further consolidation of that buyer confidence we've been seeing for a few weeks now. Indeed.
We'll have a look at the top sale out of Victoria, was out of the Inner East, as I mentioned, 38 Cochrane Avenue at Camberwell. Get you to tell us a little bit about that. But $4,566,000 RT Edgar's Brett Vanderwert and Nikki McCarthy selling this 5-bedder. Camberwell, what can you tell me about that one, Kevin?
Yeah, so Camberwell is about 10 kilometres to the east of Melbourne, and again, it's part of that highly desirable pocket where you've got some very desirable homes. Median price is around $1.9 million, although that is about 15% down from the peak. But this is an area where we've seen some reasonably significant population growth due to that popularity, about 10% increase in 5 years. And that population growth is going to underpin, long-term capital growth as well. Yeah. This property, 800 square metre block of land. It's a 2018 built new home. Extremely well appointed, very modern layout, and highly desirable in itself. But as I said, in that sort of blue chip pocket that's always in demand.
Indeed. Okay, we're going to take you to our top Queensland sale in just a moment. It didn't come out of Brisbane. We'll tell you where it is in just a moment. Back and with all those details, we're also going to tell you the top sale out of South Australia. Back in just a moment.
Did you know you can save up to 70% on your staff costs by outsourcing the low-value, repeatable tasks so your team can focus on growing your business? Beepo is an outsourcing provider focused on the real estate industry. With an English-speaking, tertiary qualified and fully trained team in the Philippines, Beepo will give your business the boost it needs to start growing and returning value to you. For more information, visit beepo.com.au.
As we return with Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic as we look at the most comprehensive view of what happened with auctions over the last week. Our record sale out of Queensland came out of the Gold Coast. This is happening quite often now, either Sunshine Coast or Gold Coast, pipping the Brisbane market. The top sale out of Brisbane was 1.1 million, but the top sale out of Gold Coast, making it Queensland's top sale, was 12 Winch Court. I think it is in Mermaid Waters, 1,480,000. Lambert Wilcox, Jesse Wilcox, selling this 4-bedder. Yeah, we're seeing this a lot, aren't we, Kevin? The top sale coming out of Gold Coast.
Yeah, look, we've seen both the Gold and Sunshine Coasts contributing to our top sales rankings over the last few weeks. Look, the clearance rate in the Gold Coast was only 31%. But I think what we are seeing in both the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast is some of these standout sales where, if you've got the right property which ticks all of the boxes, as this one clearly did, they are selling quite strongly. This property is a 1,000 square metre block, a lot of established vegetation, giving it a really sort of well-established feel. 1990s solid brick home, north-facing water frontage with a 20-metre water frontage and a jetty. This property last sold in 2015 for around about $1 million. So this was motivated. This sale was advertised with a motivated vendor, and so to get that 1.48 million result is actually certainly a very good and strong result.
Okay, and finally we're going to take you to our Adelaide result, and we mentioned earlier in the show that Adelaide recorded a clearance rate this week of 72.4% off 56 auctions. Once again, another 70% clearance there, and the top sale in Adelaide coming from Adelaide South in Glenelg East, 13 Lapthorne Street, 1,382,000. Pretty lousy, I've got to say. Ray White's Josh and Blake selling this one a 5-bedder. What can you tell me about Glenelg East, Kevin?
Well, Glenelg East is southwest of the city. It's a beachside suburb. This property is a little way away from the beach, but nonetheless, there has been an enduring appeal in some of the surrounding suburbs, Glenelg East. I think we've spoken about Somerton Park as well as having some high sales results. The other feature of this property, is it's yet another sort of period home. This is a 1925 bungalow. It's retained a lot of its original features and original charm, but it's also been very significantly extended and renovated. The property was bought in June 2017 for $665,000. And then, as you can see, the amount of attention lavished upon it has actually resulted in this really strong location in a really strong auction result. Excellent.
Yeah, nice area. Okay, well, just summing up, our weighted average clearance for this week is 79.6%. We'll wait till the end of the week, and Kevin Brogan will return with us and tell us what that final result is. But he is tipping that it's going to be around that 75, 76, even 77%. So we'll see just how good that is, Kevin. I look forward to catching up with you again on Friday, my friend.
Looking forward to it, Kevin.
And we'll see you then. Thank you.
Your business card is a vital selling tool and a constant visual reminder of who you are, what you do, and more importantly, how you can be contacted. Introducing our new Velvet business cards, featuring a luxurious premium laminate that has a velvet texture and is soft to the touch. Printed on a resilient 450 GSM card, these cards can be printed with a range of spot gloss and foiling options to give your office that prestigious look.